Hi, I'm Rebecca Brand, and this is the Falcon A1 Pro laser machine. It has so impressed me. Look at all of these projects I made in my DIY way so I can give them out as presents. This Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine has the latest in technology for you to make amazing DIY projects. Now I'm going to show you demonstrations of what I made with wood. Laser engraving on this wood. You know I have a cooking channel, and so I love to make recipes with my own cutting board, and I made these with my logo, which is my signature, Rebecca Brand Recipes. So people watching my channel know it's one of my recipes. Now check out the fast motion of it making this cutting board. I wanted you to see it in action. It has dual laser modules, and in technical terms, from my viewers that understand the tech stuff, that's 20 watts blue diode and 2 watts infrared IR. It has dual laser modules, so you can use one or the other. One is a 20 watt blue diode, another is a 2 watt infrared IR. On this cutting board you're seeing here, I used a 20 watt blue diode laser. It'll cut on many different heights of whatever material you'll put in it. And what you see here is a very thick cutting board. I calibrated that for exactly this particular size of a cutting board. And I had bought a set of 3 that I wanted to have the same logo on, including a mini. I set it once for the height, and I did all 3 in one sitting. Within this video, I'm going to get into the technical parts of how you set that up, and that's going to be at the end of this video for those that want to see the real how-to, how to make it work. And for families with children, check this out. I made a cutting board from a child's picture to memorialize their family portrait from the time they're 5 forevermore. Now, I can hang this up in my kitchen. It will take any drawing from any of your children, or even professional drawings from an artist, and laser them on to all kinds of surfaces. Here again, I'm using wood, but it also could have gone on metal, acrylic, leather, glass. But in my house, I do a lot of cooking. Anything cooking makes my family and me happy, so it's all on cutting boards. Now check out the finished pizza paddle with this cute family portrait, including the dog, going from the bright, colorful illustration to exactly that same design on the paddle board. Let me give you a summary of how I did that so easily. Once you decide on the image you want to do, you place it in the laser for the image tracing function. That's going to upload exactly what was drawn, so the computer will memorize it so you can have that made with the laser. And so here I am laying down white printer paper because I don't want those lines to come up within my image. So I line the very bottom of it with white printer paper, and then you put your picture that you want copied right in the middle. Close up the machine, then go to the Falcon Design Space software, and you go into Camera, and then you go into Get Image, and you'll see your picture on your screen. It'll pop right up on your computer screen. Once you have your image selection, you press Image Trace, and there you get to adjust for crisper lines, cleaner lines, different artistic effects, and you can resize it anytime you want with your mouse once it becomes a line image. Now we remove it so we can put the material in that we want to engrave. So I remove the paper that's underneath it as well. And here goes my wooden pizza paddle board that I'm going to have that picture engraved upon. So go back into the software, then you'll click into the camera tab and press Get Image, and then you'll see the image, your cutting board. And then when you get your image, you can place it on your cutting board as you like. In this case, I moved it around because I wanted it to be on the other side, because I wanted it to face down, because the cutting board had a hole that I could hang it. You're able to change away the image is oriented as you like. And along the way, the next is you'll preview how it's going to draw it out. Then you will choose exactly the material that you've placed in it, so it's going to know the speed and the intensity of the laser on that particular type of material. And that library is extensive, so it intuitively will know how exactly to set your laser for your particular material. So first you're going to autofocus the laser. It's going to adjust it to the correct height. After that, you're going to click Frame, and this will show you exactly the area that it's going to do the engraving on. This is a great way to double check exactly the placement of your image on the material. And after that, you're going to press Start,
and it starts making your image. You're going to want to be very thorough as you set up your image, and it's going to take about 10 minutes. That's how long it took me. And this is how it looks when it's creating your image. This is in fast motion. It's so exciting to see your art project come to life with this Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine. And when it's finished, you press OK, it's completed. And open sesame, voila! There's your piece of art on your material. And in this case, on my pizza paddle. What do you think about that? Make a comment. Look how clean these engraving lines are. They are so exact. There is a slight indentation texture when you touch it. Look at this. It perfectly matches the original drawing.
And can you imagine for your family to have your child's artwork like their family portrait of the house and the kids and the dog created into a forever piece of art like this cutting board? There's so many ways to use your Creality Falcon A1 Pro, and this was for the engraving feature. How precious. The projects you can do with it are endless. Now I'm off to my next. And not only is this great for family DIY projects, but I also run a business. I needed to make a sign for a certain part of a piece of real estate I have and hang the sign. And I thought this would be the perfect way to make it look official and very custom. And in about 10 minutes flat, my sign was made, and then I cut the edge of it so the edge of it was perfectly laser cut. Can you imagine that? Let me show you how I did that, including the holes that it's going to hang from, all on this Creality Falcon A1 Pro machine. It did the whole job. Unbelievable.
Your Creality Falcon A1 Pro is equipped with accessories like this. This is the honeycomb board, and we put that on the bottom when you want to use a laser cutting feature. I want to make the sign my specific size. I want to cut all around the words in a very neat way. In goes the sign, and now we're going to select the shape. The software makes it really easy to customize any kind of design you want with a laser cut for different shapes. So I drew a rectangle around the words. I changed the settings from engraving to line cutting, and I chose the exact framing of my sign I wanted. We're going to press autofocus again, and right after that, I'm going to press frame and double check that the design is around all the words with the right spacing I want. And then into the machine it goes, and this is how easily it cuts this piece of wood precisely. Really quite an amazing feature of this Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine, that it can actually cut. I thought it was really fascinating to see this laser cutter cut this wood. You can see the laser so bright and so hot, and it's doing that within this machine. Look at how quickly it goes around and cuts it. In real time, that only took about 2 minutes. It was fascinating to see this happen right before my very eyes. It was completed. I lifted up the lid and I pulled it out. See how it just came so easily. It didn't stick to any part at all. That's the spare wood. And here is my perfectly cut sign. Completely clean edges, no imperfections. Doesn't that look great? That's going to be on a real estate property I have that has some soundproofing. Just what I needed. And then I decided I want 2 holes for the ribbons, and to design that and get that done was only about 2 minutes in total. That was so quick and easy. Perfect.
I've had my Creality Falcon A1 Pro quite a long time now, and I have been using it for all kinds of things. Now, this time I used the laser cutting feature to do a real estate sign because I have a real estate business, and one of my properties needed this. So not only am I using it for my DIY projects, but also for my business as well. And now here's the details of how I made this cutting board that's gonna hold a roast at Christmas. I wanted my real signature, so I wrote it out on a piece of printer paper. I took a picture of it and made a PNG, and then I uploaded that into the software program. I pressed open to import it into the program, and then I resized it because what I see is a blank. That whole picture I'm looking at right now is the size of my cutting board. So I'm deciding where my signature is going to go on my cutting board. I want it on the lower left. And then I go down through the material library to find the type of material it's going to be engraving on. I chose wood. So I had selected trace image to get my signature, and here it is in the PNG format with those gray boxes behind it. I'm doing a fill engraving. I want the lines to be thick and dark. It gives me a random color because that's what I've selected is a fill engraving. And then I wanted to type in recipes.
I just used a font right on the program. Now check this out. It comes with all kinds of fonts you can choose from. So I looked through there and picked the one I liked. And then I just dragged it to where I wanted it to be engraved on my board. Now let me point out, there's a white canvas behind it, and that's the whole bottom of the engraver. I knew my cutting board was shorter than that. And then the preview is going to show you how it's going to be engraving. Here it is in fast motion. Now I'm going to put the board in and close it up. And now I'm going to go to select photo on the program on the computer. And what's fascinating is I can see the board right in there. So I know where my signature is going to be engraved. Well, it wasn't quite right. I wanted to move my signature down. So that was easy to do. I just dragged the box to where I want it engraved. And then I grabbed the word recipes after it with the font. And this is how it's going to look when it's finished. This is where it's going to be placed on the project. Then I focus the laser. It's giving me a preview where the laser exactly is going to be. And there's a few different settings and how you place what you're going to be engraving. And here's what the laser will do when you do the framing. It's going to move around because the machine will show you where it's going to be framed up. This is quite fascinating. It's not engraving yet. This technology is so advanced. Then you go back to the program and press start. Now I put the camera in fast motion. I wanted you to see how this happens. My signature is being engraved. In real time, this took about 20 minutes. So you can set it and forget it. And now safety is guaranteed. It has a flame alarm function. So heaven forbid if something were to get out of hand, there's an alarm function that you need to attend the machine. Creality guarantees its safety. You can go get something else done. Why, it will laser engrave automatically. And there it is, all finished. Look at that. Is that amazing? My cutting board is engraved just how I wanted it. Rebecca Brand Recipes. I love these cutting boards. I'm giving away a lot of these with a special recipe to people in my family. My kids are all getting one of these for Christmas so they remember that their mother was a cook. And I'm also going to use it on my recipe channel. When you touch the engraving, it feels indented, and I had filled in that font for a very dark color. Look at the detail. Nothing was missed. And this was just a signature I put on a piece of paper with a Sharpie marker. It was so simple to create this project. And now this will be a lifetime treasure for me and my children.
This Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine will make all kinds of products. So I'm going to show you the unboxing, what it comes with. I'm going to show you how it sets up. And it already comes with it a whole kit of like cat tags, doggy tags, all kinds of materials for you to start your first projects just with ordering the printer itself. Check out this unboxing and the setup.
When you order your Creality Falcon A1 Pro, it comes right to your door. This is the box it came in. I put the box on my kitchen counter. Here's a close-up of the front of the box. I put the box on my kitchen floor to take everything out. I wanted you to see how it's layered with terrific packing material so nothing gets damaged during shipping. These are all the layers. Now the top, that's a honeycomb board. I added that to my purchase because I want to do some laser cutting as well. And in the plastic bag are extra magnets for the machine itself. And here's the handle to make inserting the honeycomb and pulling it out easy. And in this cardboard box is the 2-watt infrared laser with a booklet on how to install it. Terrifically illustrated, by the way. Now I purchased this 2WIR laser head separately because I want to do some metal engraving. That's a separate purchase. This is where it's going to connect to the machine. That's the connection. And here's a side that includes some ventilation. The other side has the mounting plate. It's grooved well, so it fits securely. And underneath it, that's where the laser comes out of it, right there, with ventilation around that as well, because it's hot. The front of it comes with a piece of plastic to protect it from scratching during shipping. That is what makes up the laser. This is your arts and crafts box. One of the major Falcon big advantages is it can engrave over 350 different materials, and they give you a sampling. The possibilities are endless for a DIYer. And here's how the principal parts, the main body of the printer, arrives at your house. It's very well packaged and secure with other components. You'll see a product manual right away when you open it up. It has terrific illustrations, and that helps you understand page by page how to operate it in a logical way. This is what I followed to get to know my Creality Falcon A1 Pro. And in this package is a screen that gets attached to it. Here's a close-up of the screen, and here is where it connects. This is the back of the screen, and this is the front of the screen. And here is the power supply. Here is the back of the transformer, and they give you a cord for the power supply. And here is the part that will be inserted into the transformer, and on the other end is a normal USA 3-prong power plug. Here are accessories for the air exhaust system, and here is the air assist equipment. I'll show you how to install that later. You'll be setting up an exhaust system for when the laser burns to take the smoke out of the machine and filter it outside your house. And it too will connect with the machine with this plug. And here's the air exhaust pipe. This will expand. I'll show you that installation later in this video. I'm taking the rest of the packaging out, and this is a test calibration card and a basswood board. I removed some other packaging. Everything was cradled and nestled in extremely well with excellent packaging design by the engineers. And here is the inside of the Creality Falcon A1 Pro. I put the lid on it, and it too came with a protective layer of plastic so it wouldn't get scratched during shipping. I put all of these accessories on my blue mats on the counter. That's everything I took out of the machine. And here is the front of the Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine. Here is the side, and we can see the connections where it will be inserted into the machine. And here is the back of the machine. The round circle is the connection where the exhaust pipe will go out of the back. And here's the front of the machine with the front panel open and the top panel opened. Here's a close-up looking into the machine. You can see the detail and the bars of where that laser is going to go back and forth to make your designs. And what we see here is a 20-watt blue diode laser. That comes pre-installed. And now check this out. Going from the 20-watt blue diode laser, I am panning these cameras up. And then look at this. There's a close-up of the camera. That's the camera that lets you know what's going on inside the machine as you're lining everything up. It's a very delicate piece of equipment that is so precise. I'm so impressed with that little tiny camera that does so much. That's part of how all of this works together. And it's interesting, you can close it up if you're not going to be using it for a while to keep it dust-free. That's what that slider's for. Here's the honeycomb. It's not always used, but this is how you insert it when you do want to use it. And it's used when you're cutting something. It allows all the debris to fall through so it's not going to affect the quality of what you're cutting. All the sawdust has a place to go. And here's the belt, which is going to give the laser the power. It's flexible and keeps the power cord out of the way by the way that's designed. So as the laser goes back and forth, power is kept secure. And we're going to now connect the interactive screen. We are connecting it with this piece that comes out of the main body. It fits in snugly, and then we're going to mount it. It already has the mounting bracket right there. It slips right in. Here's the air assist equipment. It has a little plastic knob. I took that off. This pipe goes into this piece, the air assist equipment, on one end there, and the other end of the pipe goes into the air inlet receiver on the side of the machine. Then the air pump connector goes right below that. I'm inserting the air pump connector to the air pump receiver on the side and also the air inlet. And here is the air assist equipment piece sitting right there on the blue mats next to the machine. This is part of the setup. And here is the exhaust pipe. That's expandable. I am placing one end snugly right up around the port of the main body of the Creality Falcon A1 Pro. It fits securely. After that is secured, you will put the hose clamp on. You slide in the hose clamp and then you tighten it with a Phillips head screwdriver because you want your exhaust hose not to come off. And that gives you an extra secure connection. And we can see as I pull on it, it's not going to come off. And the transformer gets connected to the power port on the side of your Creality Falcon A1 Pro. Now you have the power connected. Let me point out a safety feature. You will not want unsupervised children to use this machine. Creality is thought to give you a safety key. And here's how that key works. You would have to have the key to turn it on, unlock it, to use the machine. And on the left side of the inputs is the power. You press the vertical line for on. And if there was ever a problem, Creality is thought to put an emergency shut off. It's good to know where this knob is. It's right on the side of the machine. And to power it up, it's a 3-prong plug that goes into any 120 volt North American household outlet. And before use, you're going to want to make sure your exhaust pipe is going out because as the laser's burning, it's going to create some smoke. So I put this right outside my window. That's how I set it up on my kitchen counter with the exhaust pipe running to my kitchen window. So any of the smoke go right outside. When you first start it up, the display is going to tell you, Creality Falcon, easy and clear to read. It sets up similar to an app on a phone. you go through a number of menus, and because you're going to be using your computer with this to set up your designs, you're able to set it up with your Wi-Fi. I even set up my time zone, and it'll pair the app right with the device. And when that's paired up, it'll do a test, and the menus walk you through all of that. It has so many features. It gives you a rundown on how to operate it. And then there's settings and different preferences you can set for your settings. It is completely customizable. I'm just going to quickly show within the video some of the settings, some of the options you have, but you get the idea. And then you can begin making projects. There's even part of the program that goes into the maintenance. Here's what the app looks like on the phone, and here's how you set the app up. It's like any other app. You add your device.
And a really easy way to get started is using their app.
They have all the steps on this app to make your first projects a breeze.
And the projects are so fun.
It gave me so many ideas of what I want to make with my Creality Falcon A1 Pro. It also talks about the level of difficulty. Now that's great. I'm really a beginner. I might want to choose the easiest projects to start first. Well, let's get to the calibration. So you want to set up your laser and calibrate the laser itself. So you place in the test calibration card on the board they give you. In it goes, close her up, and they make it really easy to calibrate. I just went to their website and I followed their calibration guide. I love the clear instructions I get with my Creality Falcon A1 Pro. And in about 5 minutes time, your machine has been calibrated and ready to go for your projects. Your setup is now complete, and you can see the 4 calibration points right on your test calibration board. Now it's time for all the fun.
It got to be so fun making these projects with my Creality Falcon A1 Pro that I did some more. I just got Eeyore from Winnie the Pooh off the internet. It was a free PNG, and I put that on a cutting board too for late night snacks. And I have a friend who likes this little creature. And again, free off the internet with a PNG. Now she's going to get her little late night snack tray too. What fun! Look at all these projects I made with my Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine. These are just the first ones I want to do, but can you imagine all of the personalization you can give everyone their own recipe cutting board or anything else for this year's holiday gifting season? Better start now. Click the link below to get your Creality Falcon A1 Pro laser machine. I love mine. I'm sure you can see that. This is an amazing, amazing DIY tool to have in your house. I'm Rebecca Rand. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you subscribe to my channel and ring the bell to get notified of my next video. And let's keep making great recipes in life. And today's recipe is for you to make your own creative recipe with Creality's Falcon A1 Pro laser machine. See you next time. I've got some more projects to make. I only have a few more months before these have got to get in the mail, and I want to make everybody their own personalized present this year. Okay, I gotta get to work. I have family friends, and I gave them personalized cutting boards. I couldn't wait to Christmas. They were so delighted. And then they sent me back this picture of this very rare bloody steak on one of the cutting boards. I just want to share that with you. What happiness I had getting that picture of that bloody steak. Make a comment on the project you want to make for your friends. If you like this video, here's some more over there on other DIY projects. Just click